All right, hey everybody, you have clicked or tapped onto the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video, Weather for Weather Geeks Thursday evening edition, gearing up for the end of January, the start of February, and the upcoming weekend. And we've got plenty of interesting things to talk about this evening. In the meantime, January is drawing to a close here in just a little more than 24 hours. What a month it has been. It has been our coldest January since 2014, despite a mild end of the month. And today was the warmest day of the month officially at the airport. We got to 44 today, besting New Year's Day by a degree. But yeah, 6 degrees cooler than the average is kind of where we stand with just one more day left to go in this month of January. February is going to be a lot different, and we're already seeing signs of a pattern change in the closing hours of January as a rainy event is unfolding across parts of the Mississippi and Ohio valleys. It's hard to find any snowflakes on our weather map this evening, except extreme northern parts of New England up into parts of Quebec and Ontario. But it's rain for just about every county in Kentucky. The rain is getting up to about Cincinnati here, a little after 7 o'clock. And, in anticipation of some heavier bouts of rain, already flood watches have been issued for the mountains of south central PA and especially down into West Virginia, and also the lower Ohio River Valley and kind of where the Ohio meets the Mississippi River. Some flood watches there. The concern is not only some heavy rain, but some ice jam flooding as well. Of course, in this cold month of January, some rivers and streams have iced up. Some of that ice has been dislodged and thawed a little bit over the last couple of days with the warmer weather. And so you throw on heavier amounts of rain in those more mountainous areas, especially. Maybe enough to cause some flooding problems. Not real concerned about flooding issues in our area. One of the more sensitive places like Eagle Creek, up near Braceville in southwestern Trumbull County. That's a place that always has a flood warning out whenever we have a decent amount of rain. The ice, has not been around long enough, and with the kind of a gradual thaw over the last few days, not real concerned about the heavy rain in combination with some ice jams, as of right now anyway, on some of our more flood-prone waterways, such as Eagle Creek in Trumbull County. And, rainfall totals, I'll show you the modeling. We haven't really changed our tune on that idea. They're probably, the rainfall totals are probably going to be around 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Nothing that's going to break the bank. As far as the rain chances hour by hour, don't forget you can always check out these hourly forecasts on the Storm Tracker 21 app. I think we'll reach a couple of peaks here when it comes to rain chances. We'll reach one peak overnight tonight as the first wave of rain pushes in. There may be a little bit of a lull where it doesn't rain as consistently towards daybreak tomorrow morning, but by lunchtime, it's probably raining in most spots once again, with another peak early in the afternoon before rain chances decrease pretty rapidly, I think, as we head towards tomorrow evening. That computer model run, the graph run yesterday that showed over an inch, the graph has come to its senses a little bit more today, kind of coming more in line with some of our other weather modeling, showing about 1/2 inch worth of rain will be a pretty good average, 3/4 of an inch perhaps, when it comes to our overnight rain and the rain that will continue for a lot of the daylight hours on Friday. Warm front pushes in and ensures that it's going to be too warm for anything other than rain. It's just raindrops for our Friday. Now, this is right around daybreak. Again, there may be some holes in the rain shield at that point, but for all intents and purposes, this is going to be a washout Friday, even though it's not likely to rain every minute of the day. Rain chances ramp up towards lunchtime as low pressure cruises almost right overhead. We may get into a little bit of a lull again as we go towards late afternoon into the evening before the final band of precipitation tries to push in as we go towards mid to late evening. And, there could be some wet snowflakes with that last push of precipitation right around 9, 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow evening. Don't think this is going to stick or be any sort of, anything of significance whatsoever. But there may be a few wet snowflakes at the very last minute as the precip pushes away. Then clouds will break for plentiful sunshine Saturday, but it is going to be a chilly day. Clouds then return on Sunday. And this little precip shield right here may graze us with a rain shower Sunday afternoon, especially up towards I-90, up near the lakeshore. But that should not be of a concern for most of us. Just a fairly cloudy, albeit milder day coming our way on Sunday. So no better than about 31 Saturday, and that's despite a full afternoon of sunshine. The breeze will make it feel even cooler. Also a breezy day Sunday, but it'll be a milder breeze as we get back into the mid-40s. And again, small chance of a shower before the day is through. All right, one thing for sure, it is not a particularly snowy forecast for the next week or so. This model spread for the next 7 days, all the way through next Thursday evening, showing very little, if any, snowfall across our area. There may be a midweek system. In fact, there probably will be a midweek system that will bring us more rain than anything else, but there may be some mixing with sleet or freezing rain or some sort of wintry mix during the daylight hours on Wednesday. But at some point, it'll probably just be all rain, and then that rain will be with us for maybe a fair amount of Wednesday night and parts of Thursday, perhaps. Although this model depiction, I put this on social media earlier. We're not going to take this verbatim because this may be way too warm. But today's European model, next Thursday, taken literally, has highs approaching 70 in Columbus and Cincinnati and into the 60s here locally. Now, this could be, just nonsense, but we're using it to illustrate a larger point about the February pattern. There's going to be times that are like this, where you have this big temperature gradient somewhere setting up. And, on either side of a front, you may go from the 30s to the 60s. There may be a 30 to 40 degree temperature change across the front. And this kind of, back and forth is what we can expect, I think, with a fair amount of frequency in the month of February. I think however mild it tries to get during the middle of next week, it's probably going to turn colder again by the second weekend of February, so about 9 days from right now. It may stay colder into the following week for a couple days, but then as we go past probably Valentine's Day, it's going to try to start to warm up again, I think. So it's going to be just kind of back and forth like that for a lot of the month of February. So buckle up. It'll be a wild ride. We're going to have our work cut out for us when it comes to precipitation type forecasting and everything else. It's not going to be the cut and dry snow or dry pattern that we've been in January. We'll do a February forecast on Friday evening's edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. We'll take another look at next week's trends and maybe focus in a little bit more on that midweek system, which could pose some precipitation type challenges. In the meantime, thanks for watching on this Thursday evening. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you in about 24 hours.